The palace of Vornix Prime was carved from living obsidian, its walls humming with ancient energy. For millennia, it stood as the seat of power for the Zytherian Empire, a species known for their strength, towering height, and ruthless discipline. Their rulers were legends, their warriors feared, and their bloodline considered sacred, its purity the foundation of the empire's identity. At the heart of this empire, deep within the shimmering throne hall, Queen Zellara stood frozen. Her 4 eyes, each glowing with stormy violet, trembled as she stared at the trembling medical attendant before her. "Repeat that again," Zellara growled. The attendant swallowed hard, antenna trembling. "Why, your majesty, the princess, she is with child." Zellara's claws tightened, cracking the marble beneath her feet. "That alone is joyous news." "But you said—" The attendant's voice broke. "The DNA confirms, the father is human." The words echoed through the cavernous hall. "And then? My royal bloodline mixed with a human?" The alien queen roared, her wrath shaking the stars. Power surged from her body in a violent wave, rattling pillars, shattering lanterns, and sending every servant to their knees. A human. A creature from a minor blue planet on the galactic fringe. Weak. Soft. Under-evolved. Her daughter, the heir to the Zytherian throne, had bonded with one of them? The queen's hearts pounded in disbelief and outrage. "Bring her," Zellara commanded. Beginning, the princess and the human. Princess Kilira was not only Zellara's daughter, she was the strongest Zytherian born in 10 generations. 8 feet tall, scaled in royal blue, crowned with obsidian horns, and possessing the rare void pulse, she was destined to be unstoppable. And she was. But Kilira had always been different. Kinder. Curious. Less controlled. The guards brought her into the throne hall. She stood tall, defiant, but her hands nervously rested on her lower abdomen. "Mother," she said calmly. "I assume you know." "No?" Zellara hissed. "No?" She stormed down the stairs. "You carry the child of an ape from a dirt planet." Kilira's jaw tightened. "Do not insult him." "Him?" Zellara barked a laugh. "You speak of him as though he is worthy of you." "He is. He is human." Kilira stared straight into her mother's 4 furious eyes and said softly, "His name is Ethan Vale." A silence fell. Zellara paced in disbelief. A human warrior? A smuggler? A diplomat? Tell me he is at least someone of importance. Kilira shook her head once. "He's a mechanic. From a mining colony." The queen nearly fainted. Flashback, how they met. It happened 2 cycles earlier. Kilira, disguised and wandering off-world, something no royal should do, had taken a shuttle to the outer territories. She wanted to see the galaxy without guards or royal protocol binding her every move. But her shuttle malfunctioned, crashing on an asteroid mining station. Ethan Vale, head engineer, had been the first to find her lying among the wreckage. At first he thought she was hostile. Her size, her armor, her horns, they all screamed danger. But she was injured, bleeding dark violet fluid. She remembered his first words vividly. "Hey, don't move. You'll make it worse. I'm here to help." No fear. No prejudice. No hesitation. He carried her, despite her massive weight, to safety. He treated her wounds. Fed her. Even joked with her, something no Zytherian soldier had ever dared. When she regained consciousness fully, she expected him to grovel or tremble. Instead, he smiled and said, "I'm Ethan. You crash often?" That was the moment her heart unraveled. She had never met someone who treated her as something other than a weapon or a royal symbol. And so, she returned. Again and again. Their bond grew. And eventually, one night under the twin moons, they carved their names into the steel of the hangar wall, promising loyalty to each other. Back to the present, the Queen's outrage. You risked the royal lineage, Zellara spat. For a mechanic? Kilira's voice did not shake. I love him. Zellara recoiled as if struck. Love is weakness. For you, perhaps, Kilira said, lifting her chin. For me, it is strength. The queen trembled with fury. Where is this human now? Kilira hesitated. And that was her mistake. Zellara's eyes narrowed. He is here. On my world. Kilira lowered her gaze. Under protection. I knew you would react, strongly. Guards. Zellara roared. Bring me the human, alive. Kilira stepped between the guards and the door. Mother. Don't harm him. You dare defy your queen? I dare defend my mate. Zellara's breath caught. Mate. The word carried weight. Among Zytherians, to choose a mate was sacred, binding mind, body, and soul. You bonded with him? Zellara whispered. Yes. The queen's fury cracked into something far deeper. Betrayal. Middle Ethan's capture. Ethan Vale had never been inside a royal palace before. And he wished he wasn't now. For massive guards escorted him down a corridor, their armor humming with energy. Ethan walked stiffly, trying not to show fear. He whispered to himself, Okay, Ethan, don't die. Don't die. Don't embarrass humanity. Don't die. The doors opened. Queen Zellara towered over him, 8.5 feet tall, muscles like sculpted stone, eyes burning with cosmic fury. Kilira stood to the side, tense. So, Zellara said coldly, you are the human who has contaminated my bloodline. Ethan swallowed. Hello, Your Majesty. I think I'm here because... Silence. He shut up. Zellara circled him like a predator. You are small. Most humans are, he said nervously. You are weak. Emotionally? Yes. You are unworthy. Agreed. Kilira facepalmed. Zellara's rage simmered. What did you do to my daughter? How did you manipulate her? I didn't, Ethan said quietly. I cared about her. Impossible. It's true, Kilira whispered. Ethan continued, voice steady. I didn't know she was a princess at first. She didn't tell me. I just knew she was alone. And hurting. And carrying the weight of a whole empire on her shoulders. He turned to Kilira with soft eyes. I didn't fall for a princess. I fell for her. Kilira's breath caught. But Zellara snarled. Bold words for a creature who will not survive this day. Mother! Kilira shouted. The crisis, the empire in danger. Just as tension peaked, the palace trembled. A guard rushed in. Your Majesty! The Karthik's dominion has launched an assault on the outer moons. Zellara's eyes widened. Now? They dare invade now? Their armada approaches Vornix's orbit. Kilira stepped forward. Mother, let me lead the defense. Zellara turned sharply. You are with child. That doesn't make me helpless. It makes you compromised. Kilira clenched her fists. Ethan spoke up. Your Majesty, if I can help. You will do nothing, Zellara snapped. But the guard interrupted. Queen Zellara, our energy conduits are failing. We need an engineer. All eyes turned to Ethan. He blinked. Are you serious right now? Kilira stepped toward him. Can you repair a planetary defense grid? Ethan hesitated. Yes. The guard pointed. Then we need him. Zellara's jaw tightened so hard the muscles creaked. But even she knew, without the grid, the Karthiks would breach the capital. She closed her eyes in anguish. Very well, she whispered. The human will work. Under guard. The battle, Ethan and Kilira fight to save the Empire. The war horns sounded across Vornix Prime. The sky darkened as Karthik's warships descended, their hulls pulsing with crimson energy. The palace shook as explosions rocked the city. Kilira, despite her pregnancy, joined the front-line warriors. Her mother argued, but Kilira's will was iron. Ethan was escorted to the defense corps, a labyrinth of floating platforms, glowing conduits, and humming reactors. The grid was collapsing. Sparks flew, alarms blared, and a massive breach threatened to overload the entire system. Okay, Ethan muttered. This is like a mining reactor, except enormous. And alive. And very possibly going to kill me. He dove into the system, hands moving with practiced skill. Outside, Kilira battled ferociously, her void pulse tearing through enemies like cosmic lightning. But she weakened quickly, protecting the life inside her drained her energy faster than expected. Zellara fought beside her daughter for the first time in years, unleashing terrifying power. But the enemy kept coming. Back in the core, Ethan shouted, "I need 2 more minutes." Kilira, hearing him over the comms, fought harder. Zellara shielded her daughter, eyes narrowing. "I will not lose you." Kilira gasped, "Then trust him." "Just this once." Zellara hesitated. Then nodded. The turning point. Ethan pulled the final conduit into place. The system roared to life. A massive surge of energy erupted from the palace, forming a planetary shield just as the Karthiks unleashed their doomsday lasers. The lasers struck the shield and bounced back, destroying their own fleet. Kilira collapsed to her knees. Zellara caught her. Ethan ran into the hall just in time to see the sky clear. The invasion was over. The Empire was saved. By a princess. A queen. And a human. Ending the Queen's decision. Kilira was taken to the healing chambers. Zellara stood by the window overlooking the now peaceful capital. Ethan approached cautiously. "Your Majesty. I know you don't like me." "You saved my empire," Zellara said quietly. "And my daughter." Ethan nodded. "I'd do it again." Zellara turned, eyes softer than ever before. "Tell me, human, do you truly love her?" "With everything I am." "And you will protect her?" "And the child?" "With my life." Zellara inhaled deeply. Then she stepped closer. "You have my blessing." Ethan nearly fainted. What? Kilira entered, weak but smiling. She heard the words clearly. Zellara continued, "But know this, if you harm her, or abandon her, or fail her in any way." Ethan raised his hands. "I won't. I swear." Kilira wrapped her arms around him, resting her forehead against his. Zellara watched, conflicted, but proud. At last she whispered, "Welcome to the royal family, Ethan Vale." For the first time in Zytherian history, a human would stand among the stars, not as an outsider, but as family. And soon, as father to the next heir.